Hello and welcome to another episode installment of Two Other Guys.
You did it, Eli.
Thank
you made
you.
it through. You persevered. You climbed to the top of Mount Fuji and screamed Africa by Toto as loud as you could.
I did not do any of those things, but I love the analogy.
I also realized that I was thinking in my head Mount Kilimanjaro, but I said Mount Fuji.
That is another continent, sir.
What was the...
I can just imagine a bunch of very confused Japanese people looking at me screaming lyrics to an American song at the top of a historic mountain. Anyway, welcome to Two Other Guys. I'm Eli, the other guy.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey. I'm also a guy.
Welcome to the show.
So we're going to talk about this mini direct that happened, but I think we want to give a little Animal Crossing update since we both played multiplayer earlier this week.
Yeah, my initial thoughts on it were... I was a little underwhelmed, to be honest.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
Because they spent such a large section of the Animal Crossing Direct itself when it was like unveiled that the game would be mostly multiplayer, or at least heavily multiplayer compatible. It felt like there would be more to do with someone rather than someone just being on your island as more of like a glorified NPC.
Yeah, that's really what it feels like. So we played online. I haven't tried the local multiplayer because I don't know. Well, I haven't.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is different and maybe is the better way to play if you want to do it multiplayer. But we were doing online and we both visited each other's islands. And I was under the impression that you could basically just almost play the game on another person's island, and play the game almost completely normally, just with another person. And I was wrong.
Yeah, I was kind of like disappointed in that way because I thought like, oh, I'd be able to like decorate and like give my buddy something or like put something down in their house or like, rather than just like, I found the fish. You found the fish? Yeah, good job. That's basically the whole way it happened other than us running around in each other's museums.
Mm-hmm. So it was fun. Like, I had a really fun time doing it with their cute little characters like running around a museum together.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it was fun. I wish there was more to it.
It was really cute to be like me and my friend from like hanging out as two little children like running around. It felt very wholesome in that way, and I really enjoyed that. But that's fun once.
Yeah. I mean, in its design, Animal Crossing is a single-player game, and it's kind of hard to ignore that at times. But especially in this installment, I just said especially like 3 times in a row. In this particular installment, I think there was supposed to be an emphasis on multiplayer, but it doesn't feel like the game fully delivered.
Yeah, I really thought that they were like, this is a multiplayer game, and no, this is like playing Mario Kart DS with your friends who don't own the game.
It feels like a download play.
Exactly. So what you're basically allowed to do is you can fly to your friend's island, and then you arrive at their island, and we did the best friend thing so they could interact. So when Eli was on my island, he could fish, take fruit off the trees, even like hit the rock with a shovel or a tree with an axe and get stuff from it, and fully interact with like the collectible like I say like the museum items and like sellable items. So fruit, wood, fish, bugs, fossils. But I was hoping that, I could invite him into my house and we could like decorate the house together, or that he could, make his own little campsite on my island, and those are just not even options. like
Yeah.
remotely.
At least not in online play. Like we said before, we didn't really have the option to go beyond the online play due to just,
We're not
we're not
in
close.
the same room.
Yeah. So we'll have to do more experimentation in the future to try and figure out, just like, hey, what's the deal with Animal Crossing? Is it actually a multiplayer game? But I did have fun. It was fun to just, like, because the game is about menial tasks, and sometimes it's just nice to do those menial tasks with someone else.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed, like, just sitting with my friend fishing, like, for a bit. I mean, you can get more into my general, like, once I kind of do the stuff I can do in one day of Animal Crossing, I get bored of the game and put it away until the next day.
Yeah, but then that brings up the whole time traveling argument. Have you heard of that?
I don't care. If people want to do it, they can. For me, I enjoy the slowness of it. That's kind of the point of the game.
Yeah, I am very much the same way.
I don't care if you skip. I don't care.
If you want
Good for
your
you.
instant gratification, take your instant gratification.
I mean, I don't care if you... I don't even have that level. I mean, that to me seems kind of like, well, I'm patient and I can wait. And I'm like, I don't care. I just don't feel like doing it. The same way that, like, you could fast forward the dates in Sword and Shield to reshuffle your max raids. And I also just didn't care enough to do it.
Right. I did that because I just wanted Gigantamax Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like, because that game's not necessarily as slow of a burn as Animal Crossing is, so I didn't necessarily feel as bad about it.
Well, we also already beat the game at that point.
Also true.
And, I mean, if you're into competitive Pokemon, you're probably already doing that. And even so, we're not. We don't do that.
No. I used to breed Pokemon for competitive play, but I never really went beyond that.
I mean, Eli generally schools me in Pokemon, and it would be a fun, maybe an episode is, maybe I'll do it with Ruby when I finish that, is Eli, like, once I get through the game, Eli and I can walk me through how to build a good team with, like, the proper movesets or something. Maybe that's not the best game to do it. Sword and Shield's actually pretty easy to change movesets, so maybe that's the game to do it in. But that would be a fun time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, we can try that. I mean, like, I'm not as knowledgeable on that sort of topic as I am with other games, but
yeah,
we can
but I've
certainly give
never
a
done
shot.
it. But I've never done it.
Right.
So on the Animal Crossing thing, what really annoyed me is, like, you can, like, give each other stuff. Like, you can, mail each other things, or just literally go into the world and then drop it on the ground.
Did you get my letter?
I did. Eli sent me a telescope because he had telescopes in his game and I wanted that. They offered the Animal Crossing Switch in mine, but it was like 30,000, so I didn't buy it. And now I'm kicking myself.
It is a real life equivalent.
I know, and now I'm kicking myself because it would have been really cool to have. I'm sure it'll come back up again, though.
Yeah.
I just gotta find it, and then I'll have money. But you can't even move stuff in your house or in your, like, yard with your friend there, because the game says it's rude to decorate while friends are around. And I'm like, but that's the exact thing we want to do, is go in and redecorate our houses together.
Yeah.
Like, I want to Animal Crossing be an HGTV show and have Eli, my builder, help me design my house.
I can't think of, that sounds fantastic, and I'm sad we can't do that now.
Yeah, it's so, like, we did it. We both went to each other's islands, and now I'm like, maybe next time I improve a lot more in the game and have a lot more stuff, we'll do it again, but I don't really feel like playing that game multiplayer for a while.
Yeah, maybe we're not far enough in the game to the point where we can do all the fun multiplayer things, so it's just, once we feel like we've gotten to that point, maybe we can try again.
I mean, I don't think there's, like, more multiplayer things, there's just more stuff to do in the game. I mean, I think I'll be more interested in showing my world off again once I can get to that higher elevation and can start making pathways, which I don't really know how to get there yet. I assume it happens once I get the shop.
Yeah, I'm working on the iron nugget situation because I only have like 20 of them now. I'm sure if I log on today, I might be able to
Use a Nook ticket too. You can do that.
Yeah. But
I got miles so quickly in the past couple days that I bought all the one-off purchases already and used my free new ticket and got a second one yesterday to get all my iron.
nice.
Got some new flowers and invited some new villagers to my island, but so I guess today they'll be on my island, which is fine. Though I don't really want my island to get overpopulated with creatures that I can't build my stuff.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it right now, but I'm sure my opinion will change once I'm like, wow, what the hell else do I do in this game?
I'm already kind of at that point.
Well, I'm sure things will start ramping up once you build the shop, because then I think you upgrade resident services, and that's when Isabelle shows up, and then she changes things up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm really excited to... Every day I get excited to, like, play it again. I just wish that I could play it... I just am never playing games during the day right now, so I'm always playing it at night, and it's not as pretty at night.
Yeah. And you also get the really, really... Like, you get the really chill music at night, but you get, like, the sort of, like, fun little guitar licks and stuff in the daytime. You know, it's like... I agree. I wish I could play the game more during the day.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Still fun to play.
Yeah, still a great game. We're not bashing the game in the slightest. We just wish there was more to it.
Yeah, it does feel pretty simple. It's just like you can visit and say hi, but that's about it. When, yeah, like what I said is like I want this to be like I could host a server. And I don't really understand why that's not a thing. Like, I don't understand. Why can't I have Tom Nook have individual things for each person and then he can come on and literally like, I mean, I get that, like, for example, like the museum and like, or like things that are like somewhat player specific, like maybe only player one can do in a sense. But why can't you pay off your own loan on the island like the villagers do, like the other villagers in your town do, and build a house? And why can't you help donate to build the shop? I, like, as a player too, I just think that would be really cool.
You also can't use the Nook stop when you're on someone else's island.
Yeah, you can't really talk to Tom Nook at all. And as player one, I couldn't, like, ask Tom Nook to, like, do anything. And yeah, you couldn't use the Nook stop, so you could use my little Tommy to buy some items, but that was it.
Beyond that, there wasn't much else for me to do.
I just don't understand, like, why can't this be a thing, you know? As player one, who's hosting the world, you need to be on for the person to join you anyway. So, like, it's not, like, a full, just anyone could go on at a random time. So it'd be more like Minecraft LAN world in that sense. Though you could do it over the internet. And then, like, the world can keep track of, you know, how many rocks you break so you're not, like, doubling items. It just doesn't seem, like, that hard. And if... I just wonder, is that just a disconnect between, like...
Well, the world does that anyway, because remember when I was trying to break the rocks and stuff and it just didn't do it?
Mm-hmm.
It still keeps track of the uses for everything, I think.
Yeah, so I just don't get where the disconnect comes from Nintendo. It's like, Nintendo, I would love to just fully build a house on my friend's island. Why is that not a thing? Maybe that becomes a thing. Maybe I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it might be a good idea to revisit this later, but at this very early stage in the game where we don't have a lot, it feels pointless to go to someone else's island.
Yeah, the only benefit is, like, getting new fruits, really.
Yeah, I gave you cherries.
Yes, I planted my cherries. If you go to the Nook, you can get the coconuts from Nook stops, but every, like, Nook island I've done has only had apples. So I have 4 out of, or maybe 5. I realized that I think you have oranges on your island, right? I
do.
I realized that I said that my mom, like, in game, gave me oranges. She actually gave me peaches.
So do you?
So
want...
I actually. I have oranges.
Oh, okay.
No, I already had some that I took at one point. So now I have apples, cherries, oranges, peaches, and coconuts.
You gotta give me some peaches then. Send me some in the mail.
The tree hasn't grown yet. When it does, I'll send you some.
Yeah, send me some peaches in the mail. Anywho, those are our thoughts on the current state of our experience with Animal Crossing in an online sense. So shall we move on to the Direct, unless you have anything else to talk about news-wise?
Nope. Don't got any more news, except for the Direct, which is news.
Yeah, this is going to be a very news-driven episode, I have a feeling. And
I'm just gonna go through in order of this Direct, and we'll talk about things. Which means the first topic we talk about will be like 50% of this episode.
yeah, and the other 50 will come from like a 20-second advertisement in the middle of the episode.
Yep.
So, I believe this was the thing you were most excited to see with this Direct. Am I wrong? No, I know I'm keeping it ambiguous on purpose.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but with what this Direct gave us, yes, it was the thing I cared the most about, which was Xenoblade.
Yes.
Big doy. Big doy for me.
I was excited to see it too, and I was like, Jeffrey must be flipping his shit.
I was like really enjoying it, just watching the trailer, and I mean, I could tell you the moments where I progressively got closer and closer to pissing my pants.
Do tell.
So the first was when it cut in, like, because I didn't know what it was at first, obviously, and it was the opening cinematic of the Mechonis and the Bionis, because when they go through the clouds, I didn't know, and then once they cut to the swinging Titans, I knew exactly what it was, because not that I know this cutscene like the back of my hand, but it's the thing I've seen some of the most of in this game. Like, it's funny because the way that I've played Xenoblade, I've seen the beginning half of the game a lot and the ending a lot, but I haven't seen a lot of the middle because I've played it through with a lot of my friends who haven't beaten the game. And I also went back to old save files to like get closer to 100%ing the game. But I freaked out. Like, the first time I freaked out really was when I saw Dunban, like, in the cutscene.
Oh, he
because
looks
it's the
so
first
good.
time we saw Dunban, and I was like, "This looks so good." Was my immediate reaction to that. And then similarly, like, I saw Ryan there. My only issue with Ryan is I don't like his lips; they look weird.
I love Ryan. You cannot take
I love
my boy.
Ryan. I just think his lips look a little funny. And then I really lost it when they cut to Sharla and how that cinematic played out, because it was
she
beautiful.
looks so good.
It's like you see Shulk slide, the camera pans to Sharla, and just the way that the camera zoomed in was so cool. And I realized after the fact that same shot is in the original game, but it just looked so much cleaner and smoother in this. And Sharla just looked beautiful, I thought. Seeing Zord was really cool. Then I lost it again when I saw how beautiful Melia was.
Oh yeah, I knew you would get so excited over seeing Melia. I knew for a fact.
I mean, I'm not. There's a big like Melia camp for this game.
You love Melia, I thought.
I think Melia is great, and I enjoy playing as Melia, but I'm not a big Melia, like, I'm not the biggest Melia fanboy supporter. Like, I really like her, but there's some, like, I didn't care as much about her character development as some people really do. Because some people are, like, think she's, like, best girl ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, she follows a very classic trope pattern in her writing in terms of the original game. Like,
Eli, you haven't played enough of the game to see where Melia starts becoming fantastic.
Well, I'm pretty sure we got to the point where she starts becoming fantastic, and I liked her from the moment I met her because I knew the kind of arc that she was going to follow.
Do you know the arc she follows, Eli? Eli and I have entered stage 2 of the game, which is... Well, if anyone who knows the game knows what the second stage of this game is, because it's obvious. And if you don't know, I won't tell you.
Because the game's going to come out on May 29th.
Yeah, I kind of knew it.
You know, we don't want to put any spoilers in this podcast because, you know, at that point, everyone's going to be playing the game because it's going to be so widely available.
You should play this game, and all of the reasons why you didn't play Xenoblade before are gone now.
Yeah. Effectively, because this game is going to be mass-produced,
Mass-produced on a console everyone has,
digitally
and,
available.
and you can't complain that the graphics are too bad, even though they weren't. They were fantastic for the
They
Wii.
were very good, except for angle stairs.
No, angle. Okay, so in the original game, they don't model stairs. They just make ramps,
Textures.
which is fine. But what they do is they texture it like part dark, part light, so that from like one specific angle, it really looks like staircase. But if you bring the camera just to any other angle, like to the side or low, you just realize that like, oh wait, this is a ramp.
And it's hilarious. I think it's the funniest thing in the world, but also incredibly clever.
Well, that just shows how smart Monolith was at making that game work. Did I show that to you, or did you figure it out on your own?
The ramp stairs,
Yeah.
I figured it out.
And you're like,
'Cause
wait
I
a minute.
I pointed to the side. I was like, something's fishy.
Yeah. So I was like super excited every time I could see the new render for a character, and then it cut to the future connected, and I like didn't know what it was at first, and then it cut to the title screen, and I actively screamed.
Oh yeah, because instead of like just adding it to the base game, they're making it like an epilogue type story with the one part of the game that never got put into the base game in the original version, which is the Bionis shoulder, correct?
Yep, so the Bionis shoulder was a cut area from the original game that was going to take place between Frontier Village and Aerith Sea, and it was very far in development. It's actually in the game. So if you like download the ROM and play it on Dolphin, there's a cheat code that's really easy to find where you can warp to the basically completed Bionis shoulder part. It was like basically it was unanimated and like had no like CPUs or stuff, but like it was a fully like textured modeled area, and it's huge. It's like as big, if not bigger than the Bionis leg, or similarly sized. You know, it's because Xenoblade has a mix of like big open spaces and then not as big spaces. This was gonna be like another, you know, Magna Forest, Sartorial Marsh level 1, and probably bigger than some of those.
Gar Plain level, would you say?
I think it's, well, yeah, it's Bionis leg. Gar Plain's actually only one part of the Bionis leg.
Right, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, a lot of people, because the music is called Gar Plain, and that's what people know it from, the music and the stage, but I think of it as the whole leg.
Right.
But,
yeah.
So I lost it when I saw the Future Connected, because I just, like, knew what was happening, and I lost it because it was, the story continues, and I remember being so disappointed not disappointed, but just upset that I couldn't keep playing the game when the story ends.
Yeah, so now you just have more story to enjoy.
Well, basically, I think a lot of RPGs do this. You can't just go back into the world at the end of the game. Like, when you beat the final boss, the game is over and you can't go back unless you go to an old save.
Not all RPGs do that, but I think that's something Monolith does a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it. I wish I could just keep doing all the side quests in my world. There is, like, a functional reason that, like, I get why they do it. It's just a bummer for me. So I really like this, though I do have some questions about it. So one, I'm bummed that it seems like maybe this isn't the case, but I think what they're basically saying with this is the Bionis shoulder will not be in the main story. They're not gonna like put it back in. They're not gonna like retcon their original script to put it back in where they originally were. It doesn't seem like they are. Maybe they will, but I don't think so. I think they would have made a point of that.
No, I have a feeling it's gonna be like a post-game thing.
Yeah. And then, so my just question is, like, can I, like, not access this area until the end of the game? Maybe you can, and you just get this cool new area after the game. I'm not really sure, but I'm super excited that there's just more of this game that I have to experience. I also am wondering, it seems, so there was some cut information that I'm not going to spoil on. Basically, there's some implied story that has been like written about in Japanese from the original, like near the end of the game, that like I've read up on but isn't in the game at all, and I wonder if that's going to get included. That remains to be seen, and how this Future Connected connects to that. But my only reservation I'm having right now in the Future Connected is how much is it about Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good point. That's a really good point.
Well, I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is fine, but I don't like its how it they're very separate things, and I don't want Xenoblade 2 to muddy the greatness of Xenoblade 1. I kind of prefer Xenoblade 1's story standalone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that those are part of the same world, just the different parts of them.
No, not really.
Well, just big ocean surrounding large landmass.
You know, like, we have to finish these games because there's so much weird nuance, that stuff that changes this, and it really JRPGs itself.
Every JRPGs itself, Jeffrey. Every single one.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
they don't they don't take place in the same world.
Yeah.
They just take place in the same universe concept. Let's call it that.
But then you get Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then that muddies everything because it's about space.
Nah, that's just separate. That's just different.
I'm making a joke, I know.
But, so basically, did you see in the trailer when they cut to Alvis? Did you notice his necklace?
I wasn't paying terrible attention. I was just like, oh, hey, it's you, the guy I don't trust.
Well, go to Alvis and you'll, I mean, I don't think I can call this a spoiler because it's in a trailer, and you will, if you played this game, like Xenoblade Chronicles, if you played the Definitive Edition, you'll see this anyway, but like, take a look at the part where he's in the trailer.
I'll have to look at that later, but can you explain it to me?
He has a core crystal as his necklace charm.
And that's Xenoblade 2 stuff.
Like the thing that kind of looks like a cross.
Yeah.
He has one of those, so they retconned his necklace in this game. And I saw on Twitter someone suggesting that one of the enemies that you see in the Xenoblade the Future Connected cutscene is actually an enemy from 2. I don't know. I don't really believe that. I don't think it's going to be that obvious, but especially because they show like a Telethia in that. But otherwise, but generally, like, I don't want to get too Xenoblade 2-y because I think this game is so good on its own, but I'm so excited that there's more, and I'm very excited that it looks like it's Shulk Melia focused. I just don't want it to... I hope it isn't something weird, because, I don't know, they show that there's outfit changes and stuff. I wouldn't want it to be a case where, like, in this section of the game, you can't play as Dunban. Like, I would hate that.
Right.
So I hope they don't mess with themselves. I hope it's just, like, more of kind of the same, because that's what I want.
Mm-hmm. One thing I wanted to pick your brain about was, the UI changes that were showcased in the Direct. Because I know one of your main concerns when the Definitive Edition was announced for development, it's like, I really hope they don't mess up, like, the fluidness of Xenoblade 1.
Exactly. So, that was my next P moment, was when my next P moment was when I saw them pan over all of Biona's shoulder, because I was like, this is beautiful, it's huge, I love it. And then the next time I almost peed myself, was when they first cut to an in-game cutscene of the arts palette, and it's so clean.
It looks really nice, but wasn't that one of your worries?
No, I was worried that they were gonna, like... I love the graphics of it are beautiful, of that UI menu. I was concerned that they might literally change how you fight.
And from that one little gameplay section, it doesn't look like anything different.
It's an arts palette. Also, they did some great... Like, I'm looking at it right now because I have the trailer up. The first thing I noticed about this screenshot is... Eli, you should really pull up the mini direct.
Okay.
They're fighting a Machna Ek, which is in Machna Forest. It's a level 32 enemy, and I'm looking at the party. It's Shulk, Rein, Riki. Shulk's level 38, Rein's level 17, and Riki's level 23. So I don't know what's happening.
I hope they didn't change the XP system.
Yeah, that's what I first thought, but Xenoblade 2 also leveled up at the same time, so I don't think they did. I think this is just a development build and they didn't notice that.
Yeah, what's your timestamp so I can take a look?
That's 3:15.
Okay. I can guess what your next P moment was, but I'm going to wait until
Well, I want to walk through this menu because it's fantastic. Next, they've changed the loading, like the time, recharging your arts to a ring around, which looks, I don't have an issue with. I think it's probably easier to look at.
It's cleaner, definitely.
And I also like that on the talent art, which is the middle art, you can scroll up and down, but it was unclear. Now they show you what down and up are. So, like, it's usually run and chain attack, and you can actually see that now, which is so much easier.
I don't think it's necessarily a scroll feature. I think those are just new buttons. You just press up and down to do different things.
Either one is great with me. I think it might still scroll, but it doesn't have to be. And either way, having it all available at once is great.
Yeah, I mean, like, the UI is clean as hell. Like, well done, Monolith. It looks fantastic.
The battle UI. Also, I'm noticing now, do you see where they have the break symbol above the enemy? One, I like that it's clean and you can see it there.
You can see how long it lasts. Thank God.
I know. That's such a good feat. That's such a needed feature.
Because it was a lot of guesswork when I was initially playing the game.
Mm-hmm. So I just love the clean of that. We also have the buffs and debuffs are also pretty easy to tell. I do like that they have a weather icon that was sometimes hard to tell in the original version. So I'm also happy about that. Then they cut to the little, the character, like the party menu is what essentially the next thing was. And it's not as stylized as the original. It's a little bit cleaner, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's very, very clean.
Well, and then I didn't notice this immediately, but can we talk about Melia's profile picture? It is adorable.
Hold on, I need to go frame by frame to lock in on this because it scrolls pretty quick.
Yeah, it is pretty quick, but at 3:21.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of the animations in it.
The animations are really great.
Like, you can actually see, like, in your main party, they have, like, it shows their idle animation, which I think is really, really neat.
That's awesome. Also, I'm looking now at, they look like that's the main menu now, I'm looking at it. So, they've changed the menu.
Completely.
Which is and this to me, I'll have to see what it is, but it looks like it makes more sense.
It looks more streamlined.
Yeah, well, I remember we'd always get, like, I knew everything, but, like, when you were playing it, you would get confused as to which sub-menus everything were in.
Right.
So now it's, arts and skill trees used to be separate from the party menu, which had the change equipment. So now here, instead of going to this list of, like, 8 buttons, you now immediately have, the main menu immediately shows you your party, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing is change equipment, which is what you're doing the most. That's fantastic.
Yeah, also, if you look at the leveling,
it's equal here.
It's equal here, so I don't think they changed that.
Yeah. Then you have the party, which will be the rest of that party info. Skill trees and arts are just on the main menu, which is super helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have the map, and then the change time is fine. And then quest log and affinity charts not being in that weird exclamation thing, which also had achievements, is helpful. And then there's collectibles. Now, there is, like, questions like, where is just items, which might be under collectibles. They also have the system menu button, which will have, like, the save features. I have to go through all of the different menu options in the original to fully, like, figure out where all of them are. But I think that this is just organizationally pretty clean.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And then I like that it's pretty similar. Like, they move stuff around, but it's pretty similar. Like, armor or clothes changing. Another icons that I loved. do you see the little LR skull like profile view of all of them? I think that's fantastic looking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looks so good.
And then I am so happy that they are keeping the same. They're doing Xenoblade 1 style armor changes where it actually shows up, because Xenoblade 2 doesn't do that.
Yeah, thank goodness they're keeping that. I mean, like at that point, if you're in my opinion, when you remaster a game, you should keep, especially a beloved game, you have to keep elements of that beloved game the same, unless you are explicitly saying this is a quality of life change that will make this original game better.
Yeah, so that's like so far it seems to be everything that's happening.
Yeah, I mean the game looks phenomenal. Like animations, stylization. I like how they doubled down on the stylization of the first game. Like they made it so the animations and the art quality have really raised the bar. Like it looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. So I love the menu choices. Really excited about the music. We're gonna have a little bit of a mini music discussion in here because, boy, do we need to. The next thing that I loved was when they went more in depth in the Future Connected for a little bit, and they showed the close up of Melia in whatever outfit she's wearing.
She looks so good.
And it looks so good. But then they showed Shulk, and I really disliked it because Shulk looks like Shaggy for some reason.
A little bit.
Like his face just looks wrong for some reason. I don't know if it's because he's got a hood, but the outfits are really cool. So I loved how Melia looked. I didn't like how Shulk looked, but I think it's just that one angle.
It probably is. I'm sure it'll look fine because he did kind of look like he had very much a double chin. I'm just like, that's interesting.
There was just something off there.
Yeah. May I talk about the next thing that like really wowed me?
About Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The collector's edition.
Oh, that wowed you?
God, I want it so bad. Because we finally get that art book in English.
Eli, I'm gonna send you a very important link to tell you that you should not be excited about that because there's something much better for you to be excited about that's at the same time is going to be very frustrating. Take a look at take a look at the collector's set for a moment, if you please.
Okay, you get
the collector's set is the European version, which instead of just being an art book, comes with an art book, a steel case, a poster, and a vinyl version of the soundtrack.
You say this, why would I be disappointed about any of this? This sounds amazing.
Well, because that's the European version instead of the US version.
Are you kidding
now it means
me?
I have. And the vinyl comes with a digital download for the music. And the vinyl is printed so that the vinyl itself looks like the Monado circle.
And we won't get that in the States, will we?
No, but I will be importing it.
I might have to do the same.
Yeah, I'm going to
holy
contact. Cow. I say we got a friend who lives in Scotland, and I think I'm going to be asking him to buy this for me.
I might be doing the same because holy crap.
The Japanese version also got like a CD and the collector's thing, but man, I need this European version.
I need the vinyl, man. I need the vinyl.
That I mean, I don't even have a record player, but I need a vinyl that's printed to look like the Monado.
But also not to mention, you can get those record displayers. Like it has like it's a frame that specifically has a space to safely contain a vinyl. Then below it, a little slot for the actual vinyl case.
Yep.
I would buy if you got the vinyl. I would buy that one for each of us.
Exactly, I want that. And also the fact that you get a digital download of the music included with the vinyl is like, thank you. Just thank you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Also, that poster is like stylized after the Future Connected, and it looks beautiful. But that, as you can see in the poster though, this brings up my question about who is playable, because there are two new Nopon here.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's going to be interesting to see who these two new Nopon are. But yes, I absolutely need this collector set because it is like this is the exact thing that I needed.
It looks phenomenal, and I cannot wait for the game to be released now.
Yeah, so before we get to the music, I did want to talk about a couple of my I guess I've been listing a lot of concerns, but like an overall thing that I've been seeing a lot on like Twitter and YouTube stuff that I want to give my take on, which is people kind of saying that they think the first game still looks like the original still looks better, which is kind of false, but I see what they're coming from. For one thing is, if you look at a comparison between they actually on the Japanese website they released like that first cutscene of Shulk, like where Dunban like throws the Minato because he's coughs up blood and then Shulk takes it. They have an extended cutscene of that, so you get to see a lot more of what's happening, but it's in Japanese, so a lot of people have edited that with the original English voice acting. So it looks wrong because the lip sync is off, and obviously the localizing team they've shown that they're gonna have lip sync, so that's not a worry. Like it looks weird in that because it's the Japanese lip movements to English.
I mean, that's a problem with dubbing anything over in a different language.
But they show that they're going to do that because Sharla's lip sync was correct.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're skipping out on anything for this game. I think that they are going all in.
Yeah, but what I noticed is the original Xenoblade, especially like in that Colony 9 thing, the whole like coloring was very orange, like very warm, which I liked a lot, and I think was kind of the overall game has like a warmer. It's warm, where in this one it's much colder. Like the general colors are very blue.
Yeah, but I'm glad they're not oversaturating the game.
Well, even the first one wasn't oversaturated either.
No, I remember that was a concern you had initially when this game was announced, was like, I really don't want them to oversaturate everything like in Xenoblade 2. I want them to stick to your like original kind of darker art style. And it looks like they're doing that.
Yeah, so there's some things, like, you can tell, like, when I was looking at that opening cutscene that they're put, like, I don't know how they do the lighting engine, how it works, but in the original, like, faces weren't, like, lit up, you know? And they're just like, this is a texture of a skin color. And in this one, like, the faces are very bright and, like, pop, even if the lighting, like, doesn't make sense for it to, which feels somewhat... like not anime, but like is a different like lighting technique and style, which I'm not as like excited for. So I still think the game looks better, but the tone of it and like the stylings of it, like that's what other people are commenting on. I'm like okay with it, but I definitely would prefer if this game was more overall orange than blue, you know, warmer instead of these like really cool colors. And it seems like the faces themselves are, like, lit up somehow, even when they don't need to be.
Can I provide a reasoning for that? Because in the original game, they couldn't really highlight the faces too much due to the fact that there were no animations for eyes or very limited mouth animations. But in this game, now that they have the full animations, they can really highlight the emotionality of the characters due to the better rigging and the higher polygon count. So I can see the reasoning behind wanting to really highlight the work of the animators. So I think this is a good change, because now there's a lot more animation work that needs to go into it.
Well, there's, like, an interesting thing, because I've seen, like, I've seen the side-by-side comparison of that Sharla shot, and, like, I think the current one looks really great, like, the new one looks really great, but the original, like, she has pretty solid, like, animations, and, like, it's actually, some people are saying that they think it looks more sincere, and a little bit, like, sassier in a sense. Which I can't read that level of video game characters emoting social cues, but I think people were concerned that they didn't think that these were as expressive, which is hard to say. I do, like, and my sort of thought is, I think this is all still, like, beta footage.
Yeah, you know? No, they're not done. They still have another 2 months of development as of today, which is March 29th, as the date of recording this. They have time. They have lots of time.
Yeah, I don't know how long the production for these kind of things takes? Like,
They
when do
also
you need to
have,
have?
I was like on that article that you sent me, one of like the other alternate articles that was there. They have 243 developers right now. Which
Yeah,
is huge.
Monolith is huge. So, and that's the thing. Even if I don't know how early you need to have a game finished. Like, if they're releasing cartridges, like, how much time do you need to have before the release date? Do you need to have it done? I don't know.
I think
I feel like it has to be a month.
Yeah.
So it probably is pretty much done at this point, or close to being done. And they might not be working that, but who knows when they made this footage?
Yeah. No, because if you remember the last, at least Smash Direct, when Byleth was released, that was recorded in November. The character was effectively done several months before.
Mm-hmm.
So the chances are this footage was taken maybe from a build as far as a couple months ago, if not half a year ago. That's all large possibilities, and we could see a largely different product in the final game. I think they were just trying to choose some of the best bits from their development cycle to show off.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the lighting will be fine, and perhaps it was just that one cutscene looked off. But it'll be interesting to see on a full gameplay, like, where that sort of like takes me, like what sort of general opinions are. And I hope that I don't know, like, there's some sort of I feel like this game it feels more cell shaded too, at least in like the character models, which
it feels more comic booky.
Yeah, and the first game had was not cell shaded at all.
That was due to polygon and pixel count, I think.
Something like that. But I kind of wish that this game was like fully not cell shaded. I don't know enough about animation and art style to like fully say what specifically makes stuff look cell shaded, but I wish it had maybe a little bit less.
It has to do with heavy line work, like how clear and distinct are the lines. Because if you look in comic books and things of that nature, the thing that makes a comic book look very cell shaded and why that stylization is important is because that makes very clear and readable lines in a 3D space. Like if you look at Borderlands, for example, which
super cell shaded.
That game is art style is how cell shaded can we make this? At least in the case of Borderlands 2, which is my favorite of the series. The importance of cell shading, especially in a cartoony game like that, is to really make readable lines and to make everything really clear. The action of the motion, the course of a character's emotions throughout a particular scene or in game. It's to make things very easily readable, and that's why comic books developed to a cell shaded style, was because things were so easily readable, especially drawn or animated into a 3D space.
Yeah, and obviously the first Xenoblade had very little to no cell shading. This one has more of a cell shaded look to it, and I think, to me, I liked it felt very real when it wasn't as cell shaded, for whatever reason.
Video game. It's not supposed to be real.
I guess, but I really related to the game because it felt real somehow. So, I don't know. All I know is I really, and part of this is just like, as someone who's spent almost 200 hours in the original, I'm kind of used to it.
Well, I mean, like, they are, in a way, as much as I don't like it, remasters do have to move a series forward into a more specific style.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like, look, I think the style is already great, and I would be super happy with it. I think I'm just right now really used to a certain thing, and I'll play this and be like, this game looks great. What are your overall opinions? I mean, I was very specific on a lot of the stuff that you probably weren't, but as someone who's played the game but not as much as I have, what do you think?
I am incredibly excited for the remaster. This is actually making me, because you lent me your copy of Xenoblade 2, this makes me want to play Xenoblade 2, so I can see, is the series starting to trend more towards this style? What gameplay elements are they kind of borrowing from Xenoblade 2 to put into the remaster, which it doesn't look like there are any, because I actually prefer, like, in the very limited amounts of Xenoblade 2 that I've played, I really, really did not feel used to the combat system. I prefer it in 1. It's easier to understand. And I'm excited to see the voice acting. I'm excited to see how the localization team does. I'm really excited to see the new animations and how specific they've gotten with each character's personality in those animations, because they were heavily limited in the last game by hardware, and they do not have those hardware limitations like virtually at all anymore. Considering the power of the Switch compared to the power of the Wii.
It's night and the day.
Yeah, I'm excited a lot for the stylistic changes, just to see how they specified their style, Monolith. I mean, because they are such a stylized company, and they make these incredible works of stylized art in their games, and their games become art by that extension. So I'm really excited to see how they've grown as a developer and how they've put their modern techniques into developing the new game. I'm excited to just experience the story fully, and I'm really excited for I forget the name of the not the DLC, but the expansion of it.
Yeah. An interesting note: you can play the Future Connected right out of the box.
Really?
You don't have to play through the game to play that.
So it's just an add-on.
Yeah, which is, now that I think about it, that means it doesn't take your progress. It's completely separate.
Interesting. That's really interesting, actually.
Which I don't like. I mean, I thought it was cool that you could play it, but I kind of wanted it to keep my stuff. But now that I think about it, like, yeah, they look different, so you probably don't have the same armor. So maybe you do, like, it's just a completely separate thing. Which, look, more story I'm cool with, but I don't like that seems disjointed somehow. I'm sure I'll love it, but it's not ideal for me.
I mean, I know it's not ideal in that way, but they kind of have to make a distinction, because look at the name. For example, Future Connected.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the story. It's not the original story.
Yeah.
It's seeing. I have a feeling that in addition to like the expansion of the story from the end of the game, it's going to be a sort of where are they now type situation.
There'll be something there. I mean, I'm super excited to see it. I'm not going to play the expansion until I rebeat the game again.
I'm not going to do the same thing either, because it might be a good idea for me to beat the game first.
Oh, no, you have to beat the game. I've already beaten the game, but, like, I want to, like... I mean, I'm a crazy person for this game. Like, I'm going to 100% see, like, this a JRPG.
Yeah, which is... I wish you luck, sir. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty close to my old file. Like... am really far, and I'm gonna play. I mean, I have a whole like way I'm thinking of playing this, which will be different and force me to do it, and I'm gonna be taking it slow.
Right.
Also, we'll probably get a cutscene viewer, which is awesome.
Oh, can't wait.
Cause Eli, you know what we should do if there's a cutscene viewer?
What?
Just like I feel like this would be a fun day. We just watch the cutscenes like a movie.
Game movie. I'm so down for that. That sounds fun.
Just be like, all right, what happened in this game? Let's watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, God. I am so incredibly excited for this game. And my friend who's a huge on JRPGs, just in general, he is ecstatic. Though I've explained to him many times why Xenoblade 1 is better than Xenoblade 2, and he still doesn't believe me, and I have a feeling this is going to convince him otherwise.
I like how you're so convinced of this, having played like 10 minutes of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I know, but I've played enough of Xenoblade the original to think this game is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It is. It really is. I can't wait to also finish our playthrough of that. Though I don't know if it'll transfer to being like, you're going to play up to where we were in that one, and then I come over, and we just finish it in the definitive. Granted, I think it's still, like... I don't think that this game will make playing the Wii one not worth it.
Oh, absolutely not, because that's like playing... you know how Resident Evil 3 is getting remastered?
Yeah.
That's like playing... Or no, I can think of a better analogy than this. It's like playing Doom for like the original Doom versus Doom 2016. Very different games, and the original still upholds its charm from being made in that era.
Yep.
Whereas the new game is just the new game.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spend this entire episode talking about this one game, but I know we'll get to the other ones quickly. But before we go on, the last thing we might need to talk about is the music. So they announced that they were re-recording some tracks, and the Japanese website had clips of 3 of those tracks, 2 original from the original game, and 1 that's going to be the battle theme, or one of the themes from the Bionic Shoulder. So we're going to take a listen to it, and I'll include the audio so you can listen to it while we do live reactions, but I'll also link the video where I got these from.
Yeah, thank you, Game Explain, for providing this music for all of us.
So if you want it without us talking over it, here's where you can get it. All right. We're going to do a countdown so we can click this link because it'll start playing immediately. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, click.
All right, so this is a Scar playing right now, yeah?
Yep.
At the timestamp?
Yeah.
This is the original, or am I crazy?
No, these are the remastered ones.
Yeah, I was about to say, the strings do sound more rich.
And the bass is fantastic. Do you hear it?
Yeah. I might need to turn up the volume a little bit.
I don't know if it's live instrumentation or not, but it's a higher musical quality.
Highly, yeah. I like the little nylon guitar plucking in the background. That's really nice.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it was a harp.
Now it sounds like
There's
a
also,
nylon guitar.
There's also woodwinds going on too.
Yeah, you can really hear the string underline. There's, you know what I'm talking about? There's another string part that's beneath the melody line.
Right after the drum hits.
Yeah. That's really nice. All right, now we've moved forward into the other song.
So this is Engage the Enemy, which I think is I think this is actually the best song in the game because it's the boss music.
Ooh. The distortion.
It's so fantastic.
Oh,
and
man.
The solo is wonderful.
Yeah, the melodicness of it is fantastic. I praise whatever drummer was recording these tracks. They've got a sense of rhythm on point. Just listening to those subdivisions in their rhythm is so nice. Whoever was the drummer, kudos to you, man.
Oh, and this piano line is so pretty.
Ooh, the synth in the background is really nice.
Yes.
And this is...
I hate that though. They cut out right before the drop, and now this is the new song.
This is from Future Connected?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Ooh, funky. Ooh, I like the funkiness of this.
This feels like it was arranged by those video game, cover people.
Yeah.
Is this the 8-bit big band? What is this?
I love the funkiness of this. What?
It's very Persona, I feel like.
It is very Persona. Yeah, it has that same uppity poppy sound while also sounding down and funky. And it's that sort of grungy sort of funk era as well with
yes.
with the rapid subdivided guitar strums. It's very nice. Wow. Very nice. I am a huge fan of that. Holy cow.
That song is... It's so good.
That's wonderful. Man, I can't wait. Soundtrack is now what I'm most excited for.
Alright, so... Yeah, our thoughts are more, please, I want now.
Yeah, it's we want you to take your time and make this game wonderful, but please, gib.
I will... Probably not the first time I hear the new remix of Engage the Enemy where I have to hear the drop.
They gotta leave something to be desired.
Oh, yeah, no. But the comments that they're all just how could you do this to us?
Just Engage the Enemy is such a good song in the soundtrack. Oh my god. And I can't wait to hear that full remix of it, because the The guitar solo, the real distortion at the beginning, followed by the piano line, the contrast in the song itself is so wonderful.
It's fantastic. Continue, and it's like, all right, we already thought this was one of the best video game soundtracks of all time, and now we're getting it with real instruments. Or
Yeah, I can't wait, man. This is gonna be great.
all right, so let's continue with the direct. Eli, you probably have more to say about this than me. Then, but the 2K games package is coming.
Yeah, that's very nice. I probably personally won't buy it. I own these games already on my PC, and I can run them smoother. But for people that haven't experienced these games before on a more accessible system, I think is really exciting. Because especially Borderlands. I love Borderlands. I've expressed my love for Borderlands in the podcast before. I think I've said that, like, Borderlands 2 is probably one of my favorite. It's in my top 5 favorite games of all time.
Well, that's another good podcast idea. Top 5 favorite games or top 10s.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's do another episode. But Borderlands 2, specifically Borderlands 2, is in my top 5 of all time. And the Borderlands series is in my top 10 favorite series. But I think for people that haven't experienced those games yet, I think that's really exciting, especially BioShock, which are visual masterpieces. Borderlands is an incredibly fun game to play through, and XCOM coming to a console is very new, to my knowledge. So I think 2K is making some really good like financial moves here. And so is Nintendo.
I like that these are collections. So I've never played any of these games, and I don't know if I want to. I haven't had a ton of interest. You know, I could always get these on Steam, but we'll see how well they run. That's always the question with games like this. But
Borderlands 2 and the original Borderlands will run like a charm. Those games take nothing to run.
So what I like is I can buy them as a package. Like, it's cheaper. It's a good price.
Right.
$60, but I get two $60 games, you know?
I think with the Borderlands collection, you get 3.
I didn't see if it... Does it have 3 in it?
No, it has the pre-sequel.
Right. I always forget that the pre-sequel is basically a full game.
It is a full game. It's not basically. It has its own DLC cycle. It's a full game. It was just not manufactured by 2K US. It was developed by 2K Australia.
So that's why it didn't get the full 3?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Because Borderlands 3 is too new of a title, and that title actually takes a lot to run. Like, it's still the same style, but they've really like cleaned it up and made it really specific and graphically demanding. And also, it's just still very new.
So a couple of questions. So one, so if I am playing these games, I should play the pre-sequel first, I assume?
No. If you want to play the game in chronological order, in terms of like where they lie in the series, you need to do the original Borderlands the pre-sequel, and then Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3. That's the way you need it. If you want to play them in terms of storyline straight through, then that's the way you want to play them. There's also another way to play it is in development cycle time, which honestly might make the pre-sequel make more sense. Because I feel like a lot of the context of Borderlands 2 is necessary to play Borderlands the pre-sequel, because you delve more into who Handsome Jack is, and the game pre-sequel is about Handsome Jack before he took over Hyperion to lead into the events of Borderlands 2. So personally, knowing the game as well as I do, I recommend playing 1, 2, pre-sequel 3.
Okay. The other thing I'm just noticing is I just paused it on the box art, and is a download and micro SD required is on this image.
They're big games.
So if you want to buy this game, just make sure you realize that you're probably not even getting much of any of it on the cartridge. In fact, this cartridge that probably doesn't actually come with any of the game. It's probably just a download code in a cartridge, if it even is coming out on cartridge.
Yeah.
I assume it is, because they showed it as box art.
Who knows? I don't.
So, I think these are exciting. I might be more inclined to play them. I don't have them yet. Though, why is it coming out the same day as Xenoblade?
I don't know. I don't really think it matters that much, to be honest.
I mean, I guess you could say those are very different people, like, who would want to play those games, but it just seems like, who knows, maybe these are done independently, but it's just like, why? Come on, why?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just different people want to play those games. I don't think it'll make that big of a difference to either set sales, you know? Like, I think all of these are going to sell well, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much. All right,
Moving
do
on.
we care about Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 with the Fantastic Four, the least popular superheroes of all time?
I mean, I have actually been meaning to play that game, but I haven't bought it yet because it's not pressing for me, so we can skip it.
Yeah, I don't even know what the game, like, that game's even gameplay is like.
Can't remember.
Like, have you played any? I mean, it's the third one, so there must be other Marvel Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah, I
but
played the
don't know
second
what
one
they're
for the
like.
PS3.
Is it, what kind of game is it? I don't know.
You unlock different heroes, and you can it's a little Lego Star Warsy or Lego games.
I was about to say, like, is it like a Lego game?
Kind of, because you unlock different heroes, and they all have different fighting movesets that you can play through the story with. But it's a very set storyline. You play through the events of the game, and you have a set amount of heroes you can use for each mission and things like that. It's a fun game. It's just very fun. I don't put too much stock in it. It's just fun.
I mean, I'm not interested because I already don't care about Marvel, so.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, but I have no need to play Ultimate Alliance 3.
So then there's this Shinseki Explore the Deep Sea. I think it's a Capcom game.
Is it? I can't tell from the.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
Capcom Co.
It's-
Limited. How about that?
It looks alright. It kind of looks like it isn't running well. I don't know if that's beta footage or not, but like some parts just don't look good in this game.
I'm sure. Yeah, well, it said available now, so I guess I haven't played the game. I guess we'd have to actually play it to find out.
Like, there's that part where like the diver blows up the rocks, and it looks bad.
I don't know. I'd have to play the game to find out, so I'm not going to make it terrible of a judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a cool idea, but it doesn't grip me.
No.
I guess it's a Switch exclusive for the moment. I can't remember if it said it was a timed release or not, but looks fine. It's got that DJ thing where you can like mix the music, I guess.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a cool romp, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't grip me terribly much. I don't really feel like there's too much need to go into it.
No.
All right.
We got the Animal Crossing update.
Easter is cute. Thank you. That's all I feel about it.
I like that I can dig up eggs. I appreciate digging up eggs.
Yeah.
That's about. I think yeah. I'm excited, but when it came up, I was like, we're already like this game just came out. Why? How much new stuff?
It's just a cute little update to have something else to do when that time rolls around. I don't think it's too much beyond that.
Yep. Cool. Good job. This game. I don't know about you. I think this game looks really fun.
It looks ridiculous, and I think that's fantastic.
Nintendo had the Stretchers game to kind of get, these games that sort of are meant to feel like indie games. And I have seen gameplay of the Stretchers. It's just not that funny or interesting. This game looks funny.
Yeah, it looks hilarious how you can just throw the projector through the wall.
Yeah, I was
looks
not
hilarious.
I really wasn't interested in the game until I saw the guy slingshot a projector through an office wall, and I was like, okay, now I need to get this game immediately and have friends over to play with me.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous and fun, and one of those novel games that's just you play through it once and you have a good time.
I mean, it's like an Overcooked kind of thing. But yeah, once you start breaking stuff and the projector goes through the wall and then the guys are spinning on the crane and fall down, I was like, all right. This is now a must buy for me.
Yeah, I know you love the comedy elements of games quite a bit, so.
I mean, I don't need them in every game, but for a game like this, yes. I think if this game wasn't funny, why would I get it?
Yeah.
But man, it just looks like it's out now, right? Yeah, I'll have to see how much it is, but I'm gonna get that game, I think.
Yeah. I'll play it with you at some point.
Yay!
Yeah, it sounds like fun. It looks like fun, but I personally don't think I'd buy it because I love those kinds of games as one-offs, but I don't.
You can't.
I don't see a lot of
It-
replayability in it.
Yeah, it's sort of like you get that one time through and it's fun. That's why the price is. If this is a $20 game, it gets harder. But if it's like $10, hey, would I like this game or would I like a burrito?
Yeah,
I'll take the game.
you're exactly. I feel the same way. Okay,
And then we got Catherine Full Body.
Catherine, I've got a bit to say about this because
Lay it on me. I don't know as much about Atlas as you. I had heard of the game once or twice, but didn't know much about it.
yeah, Catherine is a really fun, stylized puzzle game with a really, really good story. And it's the thing that like raises eyebrows about it for me is the fact that this was a Sony exclusive game, like for many years.
So is Catherine a series?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But I remember playing Catherine on the PS3.
You have a lot of PS3 games I didn't realize you played.
Yeah, most of them were downloaded onto my PS3, and I don't have the boxes for them.
Got it.
Yeah, because it had a surprisingly large amount of memory space. Anywho,
Yeah, I thought of that.
anywho, the thing that was really interesting about Catherine was, at least seeing it get revealed for the Switch, was the fact that it was a Sony exclusive Atlas game, which Atlas is like, you know, they've developed Shin Megami Tensei for the Switch, and that's or they're for Nintendo, and that's sort of like the Nintendo's stake in Atlas, in addition to just Sega owning Atlas as a developer. This could open more doors, because like there has been such a large public outcry for Persona on the Switch. Catherine, I have
Yeah.
a feeling, is the first step towards that.
I mean, it's another. I mean, I think the first step was Scramble. Like that's getting the Persona franchise at all on the Switch is definitely a big part, and this is just showing that Atlas has more ability to get things on the Switch. It's also, remember, Persona 5 like is a PS3 game, and this is also a PS3 game, and you're seeing that the Switch is definitely capable of taking PS3 games and getting them running.
Yeah, because the game
So-
in the trailer, it looks great. It looks like it's running without a
did
hitch.
It did look really good. I'd have to see how much this game is, but I don't know, I was interested in it. It feels like
If it's not too expensive,
Well, yeah.
I'd recommend playing it. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, it's also like a mature game, which is unusual.
It's an extremely mature game.
So I think that's really cool, just to get like mature games, and like not that it's just like, and not like mature as in it's a shooter, but like this is a game basically about sex and stuff.
Yeah, and especially because it's shown off in like a full-blown Nintendo Direct, not sort of like just like mentioned in like the post-credit sort of thing. Like, no, this is showcased in a Direct. Like a mature game like this, that's very uncommon for Nintendo, and good on them for like taking the step for that.
Yeah. So
Keep an older
is
audience
it-
in the games.
So is the gameplay all puzzle game and then like dialogue options?
For the most part, from what I can remember, there might be more to it, but like it's very heavily influenced by those two things: your success doing the puzzles and also the dialogue you choose. But if I remember correctly, that is a large amount of the gameplay, but I could be wrong.
Cool. Look, that looks like I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Then you got the update for Ring Fit Adventure.
I think this is a really clever inclusion. I really like it. I don't think it's gonna like, they're all like good inclusions to Ring Fit that I think were like really awesome. Like, how much am I gonna play this essentially like rock band, but it's fitness? I don't know. I have Ring Fit Adventure and still haven't played it, but probably should because I can't get to the gym as much because of quarantine. I just have a small room, so there's not like a good place to stand to play it for me. It's mainly why I haven't, but that's really like cool, and it seems like it has good music options. I really want to hear. I like that it's the Wii Fit one because it's like the first time that this game has referenced Wii Fit, which is always what I'm like thinking like, okay, when am I gonna like get a skin in this game where I can play as Wii Fit trainer?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I
And
don't
then-
really have too much stake in Ring Fit Adventure. It's very gimmicky to me, but I can see why it'd be fun.
I mean, I only got it because I did want something to work out with. Like, I want to work out.
Right.
Otherwise, the stuff they added is like jogging. That's cool. I thought it was weird that they spent time saying like we added language options. I'm like, those weren't already in. Like, okay, that was kind of funny. But yeah, cool update, good stuff. I don't know if it's gonna make anyone buy it, but I like it.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was fun. Okay, on to King's Bounty 2. Looks like a really fun TRPG. I might get it.
I've never played a tactical RPG, and I feel like a lot of them have been on mobile now, so it's interesting to see one. Though I just thought this game looked like garbage.
I think I mean, this is a very specific style with this game. Like, it's very Civ 5 style to me, which is like also kind of like equally awkward looking. And it also has some CRPG elements to it from what I can see. So I'm invested in it. So it might be a stylistic choice, or it could just be that it doesn't look good. I'm not sure.
Well, there's like the two parts. There's one that like if you look at like the main character guy, just like it's just like everything about him looks fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that is like is this beta or what, but like we've seen games just look like kind of fuzzy mess on the Switch if they're not really meant for it. And that's just the cheap way of getting it to work. And that I'm not excited about. Granted, I understand the point of this game is not really to watch your units that close up. It's not that much of the game. But they showed it off, so it was there. And the other thing is, maybe you could see, is like, the guy with this, like, his sword technique is just all wrong.
How would you know?
Well, he was so, it looked like he was just, like, stabbing butter. It was so, like, effortless, like he didn't give a shit about what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I think the game looks interesting. I might get it, I might not.
I think the gameplay is probably fine. I was just really hung up the entire time of just being like, this game looks like garbage.
Yeah, I'd have to, like, watch a bit of gameplay for it when it comes out to see if it's really worth me getting.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he just, like, nonchalantly stabs things left and right, and it's like, I think that should be harder than what you're doing.
Something like that.
I like it. Yeah, but looks fine. So then we have, next was Smash.
Oh boy, do I got things to say about this.
Alright, go Eli.
Arms in Smash. Arms in Smash. I'm so excited for this. I'm one of the very few people that it's like, oh my god, thank god Arms is in Smash. For a multitude of reasons. I always love when new Nintendo IPs get into Smash. I love it. I love it when that happens. And ARMS was such an underrated title. I thought, and I still think the game is so unbelievably fun to play. It's such a unique take on fighting games. It incorporates aim. It incorporates which arms you choose. It's difficult. It's like, it's such a new take on the fighting game experience that I think it's worth showcasing in Smash. And one thing that I really hope they do, which I don't think they will, is make a Bowser Jr. situation where, because every character plays very similarly to another, there's in the gameplay, each character has its own little gimmick that it uses. Like, to think of one example,
well, like Twintel can float.
So can Dr. Coil. Helix,
and the robot has the dog.
Yeah. Helix can stretch himself in different directions. And the ninja one, I can't remember his name. Can, like,
isn't it just like Ninjin or something like that?
It's like, it's a play on words for ninja. And like he can, like, he has better evasive options and can, like, disappear. Instead of dodging, he, like, disappears and reappears, so your opponent can't tell where you're going. And, like, it's just, there's so many unique gameplay elements and so many fun things about that game that I'm really glad that it is getting representation in Smash. Because a lot of the newer Switch titles were too late in development to be added into Smash, and that includes the Rex and Pyra thing, Springman being an assist trophy, with Ribbon Girl being a Mii costume, Rex being a Mii costume. A lot of these Switch titles that didn't really get as much time in the spotlight in Smash specifically. And that's what makes me excited, is that, like, now everything's on the table.
So I think that this is because, there's a whole host of reasons why they didn't announce the character and just said it was on ARMS. I bet a lot of it has to do with Virus, like, that it's been delayed somewhat.
Right.
is a very possible thing. Though I really am thinking now that this means that we're getting an ARMS sequel and that the cover character for that game will be the fighter.
That would be interesting, yeah, I think. But when did ARMS come out? 2017?
Yeah.
Do you think they would have announced an ARMS sequel by now?
I don't... 3 years, that's not that long. They might not have gone to it like immediately. And the reason I'm saying that is so they had, as part of this announcement, they announced they're doing basically a free trial of ARMS. So you can play the full game for free right now.
Yes, and I recommend it. I recommend it highly. It's such a fun game.
So it's, if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member, you get this game for free for a period of time. You don't get it forever, but you get it for a bit, like it's a trial. And Nintendo wants this game to work, and it clearly hasn't yet. So that's for about a weekish. It's the 26th to the 6th. So, well, it's free right now.
You got another week-ish.
I'm just thinking that this means that like they want people to get familiar with the game and like be on the fence so that they can announce, after some people have played it, a sequel. Maybe it'll be at E3, I don't know when, but it just feels strange to me that they wouldn't just say what it was. I mean, they don't need to show off gameplay yet, but they could have showed off a trailer. And since they didn't do that, I think it's because it's either a character that A, doesn't exist yet, which could be its whole slew of issues with the community, but I'll wait and see before I make some claim about that. Or one of the characters from this game will become more of a face character in the sequel, and then that will be the one that gets included.
Yeah. In the event that they don't make a sequel, I hope that they do a Bowser Jr. situation where, because every character plays so similarly, they just add slightly different animations to the characters, depending on which costume you pick, to like more reflect who they are, and then like allow them to do their thing.
Yeah,
as like several different characters, or like a hero situation where it's like, yeah, it's only 4 characters that have similar animations, but you give them costumes to represent different characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had them basically all the same animations, I don't think anyone would be like, blasphemy,
Yeah, but I'm personally very excited for this fucking character.
I think it's really excited, but it's just, there's so much like, what's this gonna be? Because like the face of the game is Springman, and we got an assist trophy, and if that happens, oh god.
Oh yeah, because if it's Springman, that would open such a can of worms.
I just think it'd be such a train wreck.
Oh, then people would then the whole Waluigi thing would spring right back up, and I don't think
even though we already know these characters have been decided.
Yeah.
So
the whole Waluigi would literally just become, there would be a chant echoing globally for Waluigi.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be part of that, but at that point I would just be laughing my ass off.
Yeah, something would break if we got to this point. Like, something will be broken, and we can't have this.
I think what would be super interesting if like the first character is like revealed to be Springman, and then all these like heavily requested characters that got turned into assist trophies slowly keep getting upgraded. I think that would be really cool.
But then
because then you get Isaac, you get Waluigi, you get what was another character that's in Shovel Knight,
It just makes no sense, because that just says they just wasted development time on those assist trophies, unless they can like sub in other things. But no matter what, it's wasting development time, and I think that's why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'm excited for the ARMS character in Smash, because I think that is such an underrated title, and I needed representation from the get-go, and I'm very excited that it's getting it now. I
mean, I don't necessarily think that ARMS needed representation. I think the only reason is it's like already so fits as a fight, like Smash as a fighting game, it fits really well. It is recent, but I think you can make lots of not even one-off characters are somewhat more fitting that don't have anything, like Chibi Robo, something like that.
Gino.
But at least this one's like new and relevant, so it's easy to do. And also I think we're learning more and more that like Smash DLC is just it's Nintendo picks and they want their business decisions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of you're seeing that more and more. You know, it felt kind of all over the place with the third parties. I think with Nintendo's first party characters, they're going to be business decisions. And does that mean our prediction episode will be completely wrong?
Yep,
yeah, probably.
Definitely.
That was probably already, like, the second we recorded, it was probably already going to be wrong. But, whatever.
Yep. R.I.P. Doom.
Still a chance. I mean, do we even know when that's coming to Switch?
I think at least the original Doom series and Doom 2016 has been on Switch for a while.
Yeah, but isn't Eternal supposed to come on Switch?
At some point.
Well, okay, great.
I don't know when. Anyway, shall we move on?
Bravely Default 2, which is a sequel, but Bravely Second isn't. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks fun. Might get it.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I like the world, like, art a lot. I don't like the chibi character styles as much. It's just not, I'm not into it as much.
Yeah, I'd rather see the full-blown characters moving around the world space. That's a preference I have as well.
It's also funny, like, I really liked the way the characters looked when they were drawn out. It was very Octopath 2. Like, man, like, they just looked the same. Like, the same artist clearly drew these characters.
It's a Square Enix title.
Yeah, I know. But, like, the same artist drew them, like, when the hand-drawn versions of them, like, look almost, like, they just look like they're from Octopath.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had it the first in the 3DS I want to finish. I remember kind of enjoying it, but I can't remember what happened. I don't know. I don't... I feel like the Switch is becoming just so many RPGs, which is fine. But I don't, RPGs take a long time to play through, and I can't play a lot of them. You just functionally can't play that many RPGs because they're long games. And this one just didn't do enough to be, like, top of the list to me when I have Xenoblade to replay. I still have Torna to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I will play at some point. I gotta finish Octopath. I gotta finish Dragon Quest 11. That's so many RPGs. That's so many hours.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've played through very least the base story fully played through the base story and have not even touched the post game yet of Dragon Quest 11. It took me 65 hours.
So, this game is just like, and it's also like Pokemon's an RPG. So this game's just like for RPGs because it's pretty simple. I already have Octopath to get my like, that really fits that like, and even Dragon Quest are like very standard RPGs. I'm kind of set for right now. Obviously though, if we're talking one per year, okay, looks good, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally always a fan of RPGs, and I will typically get to them if I have enough interest in them. So I'm not mad, because there are the people that have the time to play these.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all. I think it's fine. I think that I really liked Octopath and continue to still really like Octopath, and even that game's been around for a while now, so it's not like, oh, we shouldn't have this one because it's still Octopath, but I'm just not like, it's just not the same interest level right now. It could be in a year or two, I'm like, oh man, I really want some more like Octopath-style RPGs, and then I'll be like, we'll get Bravely Default.
Yeah, I understand that. And, I never played a Bravely Default game, so if I were to get this game, it would be my introduction to the series, so...
Yeah, I have it on the 3DS, and I played for a little bit, got distracted, stopped playing it, and now I have no idea what it was like.
Right.
There's like a whole couple years of like 3DS games I played that I don't remember what happened.
Understandable.
like 2014. Like I must have played on my 3DS like on trips and stuff, but I do not remember what I played.
Yeah.
So I have it. If you want to try it out sometime. This looks like it'll probably be released pretty late in the year.
Yeah, so we got time. All right.
Clubhouse Games 51.
Cool.
The 51 classic games. This had a lot of stuff in it.
It did. I was like, whoa, holy shit. Okay. But it was
I wonder how much it'll be, though.
Yeah. I suppose that also, like, I guess the price point will be on development time. Like, how long does this actually take to develop? Was it just, like, was it easy to develop things of that, like that,
Well, I will say is, there's a lot of games in here that are, like, kind of, like, they're not, trademark games, like backgammon and things you can just call that. There are actually a lot of trademark games in here that they just call different things. Like, there's Uno in this. They just called it something else.
I find it hilarious. I think it's so
Oh,
funny.
I thought that was really funny when they said it. But like, considering how much Uno costs to play on the Switch, like, maybe this like will be more interesting. I don't know. It's also funny that it has like things like bowling and golf.
Yeah.
Like, that was interesting. Like, I was like,
Is this just
okay,
Wii
I guess.
Sports for the Switch?
Yeah, it has like Wii Play mini games. Like, it's bringing back tanks, Eli.
Wii Play Remastered?
I don't know. It looks like a fun thing. I wonder how much it'll be.
Yeah. And it's also interesting that it has online play, I think.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
But
But other than that, it looks neat.
Yeah, like, I have been weirdly wanting to get like Monopoly and Uno for the Switch for a long time, but just didn't think anyone would play with me.
Well, I might not play Monopoly with you because I despise Monopoly just as a game.
Why you don't? What's wrong with it? If you play it correctly, it's not an issue.
But when you lose, it's agonizing.
We'll get with 4 people and we'll do it very unseriously.
Yeah. Turn it into a drinking game.
Oh God.
That sounds awful. But also
Yeah,
really fun.
Maybe we shouldn't play. All right, we got Ninjala. This game has been in development for like a long time.
Has it been?
Yeah, this has been like showcased in like other places and like in development, and people thought it was just canceled.
Well, it's good to see that it's not that.
Yeah. Really cool thing, it seems like, for Splatoon fans. I guess it's like a multiplayer fighting game, like team-based fighting game, which is neat. There's not a lot of those on Switch. It has some cool mechanics like the camouflage, and it's like very stylized, and I like it. But I don't know, like, I already don't play a lot of these multiplayer games and fighting games, and I really like Splatoon, but I feel like I just want to keep playing Splatoon,
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but it looks fun, but it doesn't really tickle that itch for me.
But if you're like a Splatoon fan, like, I could see you really wanting to play this game. More Splatoon expanded stuff, and if you like that style.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, why is it? But it's coming out May 27th. Like, guys, bad week.
Xenoblade. Next was like the
And then we had
Star Wars game. It's like, yeah, cool. Next.
So, I thought this game looked terrible.
It's an old game.
Not
it's
that
a
it looked
very
bad,
old game.
but like, it doesn't look like it looks like it's. It still looks like it's a PS2 game. Like, go to the scene where Chewbacca is riding like on a sand speeder. It looks really gross.
Yeah, this is probably one of the reasons why I just won't buy it.
Yeah, I was just like, this game doesn't look like it's been remastered. Like, this looks like a Halo map from like the Halo PC, like Halo 1 PC edition map.
Yeah. Other than that, I really don't. I just one of the main reasons that I just did not care.
Yeah. Also, like Chewbacca had no animation while he was riding on that sand speeder.
Yeah. I just find myself, even though I am a Star Wars fan, just not caring.
Also, like, when you had games like Battlefront come out, this looks really weird. So there's Star Wars Racers, which apparently is a good game, though it showed no gameplay. It was just like a title screen.
Who knows?
So there's the Panzer Dragoon remake is out now. I've heard some people who have played the game not particularly like this game, like not liking the remake that much, or not even thinking it's a definitive way to game. Which I felt like from the moment I saw the first trailer for it, I was like skeptical that this was just gonna be like rushed and not very good.
I don't know. I've never played the original Panzer Dragoon, so I don't have any major opinions on it.
I mean, it's an on-rail shooter, but unlike something like Star Fox, you have you can turn the camera like 90 degrees, like in a circle, so it has like front view, left view, right view, back view, and you can shoot in all those directions, which is like a really interesting concept. And I guess it's a Sega game, it was on like Sega consoles, and it was like a mainstay for them. It was kind of their Star Fox in a sense. It just kind of it reeks of like kind of low budget remake, like it looks good but not that good.
Right, I see it.
I could see like though if you like wanted to get into the series, it could be cool. It's neat to have, like, I do think it's neat that like retro games like this are having a comeback and you can play them. Like, that is really cool for someone that like has wanted to play all of these retro games and just never been able to like get them all to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have any strong opinions on it, to be honest.
And then we had this, and then after that we had this.
What I like to call the Rapid Fire Showcase.
Yeah, Trials of Mana, which we've seen a lot of, I think is just coming out.
I am very excited for
soon.
Trials of Mana, and
that
I think you like it.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I would. I just got the collection of Mana, so I'll play some of those before I would get it.
Yeah.
But that's like another like more RPGs. There's just so many like Square Enix, like, you know, there must be huge because they pump out so many games now.
Yeah, I just like Trials of Mana because it looks kind of like a 3D battler with RPG elements. I love that shit.
Yeah. Is it actually like yeah, it doesn't look like it's not menus, it doesn't look like it's a menu RPG, you know? Or, you know, it looks more action RPG.
Yeah.
Which I actually like more than menus, so maybe I really will like it.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it out. But I feel like I want to play at least Secret of Mana first.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a classic game for the, you know, Super Nintendo, and I think I have it. I have some way to play it, I know, at this point, because I bought the Collection of Mana recently because it was on sale, or on my SNES Classic. I know I have some way to get it. They showed off our favorite game, Fuser.
Oh boy, can't wait for Fuser. Moving on.
Yeah, they showed one of the other guys, Elder Scroll Blades, which is a mobile game, so cool. Really cool, guys.
Yeah.
Really cool, Bethesda. Warhammer.
That was interesting.
Do you know anything about Warhammer? I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, Warhammer is it's a heavily stylized sci-fi world, and it's a board game. Actually, Warhammer is a board game that is literally just like it was made, and the whole thing is you buy all these miniature figures and you make armies for different factions, and then you battle someone else's army in a fully terrained like board game style. It's very cool.
So does that mean that this game like will have essentially like the same way like online Magic has, like you have to buy packs or buy figures?
I don't think so.
Or
I think it's literally just like one of those games where it has a set story and you get the units and you have to battle against CPU armies. That's what I can see.
Oh, that's really cool then.
Yeah, I mean,
did you want to play it? Were you interested?
I mean, like, I like Warhammer. I've played a few Warhammer games, like in the sense of like on Steam, there are a lot of shooters based on the Warhammer universe, and they're really fun and really cool. But like, I have no major interest in it. If I want to play classic Warhammer, I'd like. It's a lot of money to build an army, but I hear it's so much fun.
All right, we got this game called Vigor, which looks like a survival shooter game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, nothing really. Burnout Paradise. That game had a bopping soundtrack when it was on the. I played it on the Xbox 360. I love that game. It's a lot of fun.
Isn't that like the racing game that people say like it's a mix of being like a real driving but also kind of ridiculous?
Oh yeah, I adore.
I think I would really like. I think I would really like it.
I think you would. It's a lot of fun.
As someone who really likes racing games, I think it'd be a lot of fun to try out. Again, a lot of these have to deal with the price if I want them. And we got a Saints Row 4, which to me Saints Row is just like, do you not have GTA or something? Like, I have GTA 5 on my Steam account. I'm not gonna buy Saints Row.
Yeah, Saints Row I think is just GTA, but absolutely ridiculous. And
yeah,
a lot of the voice acting in it is actually very funny. Like, it's a very funny game.
I just don't need another GTA-esque game when I have barely played any of GTA 5.
Yeah, I have no interest in
also,
it.
Also, like, who's gonna... It's just, like, also, like, Saints Row was cool when it came out, but that's such an old... Saints Row 4 is old. That came out before GTA 5.
Yeah, it's an old game.
So, I don't know who wants to play it. We got this Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 3. Don't know what this game is.
Don't know what it is.
It looks like anime mechs, but one of the mechs holds a sword that kind of looks like Minato, which was the only thing I remembered from it when I watched it.
Yeah, it looks very action RPG too, which is interesting, I think.
Driller, Mr. Driller.
Yeah, it's like
more arcade games.
Very cute. Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh yeah, this game's been around for a while. It's a dungeon crawler, but with Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it, but cool for who wants to. And then the last thing we had was the Sword and Shield expansion pass, which I'll just say my initial thoughts on it. They didn't really give you any new info.
No, it's the same.
So I was like, cool. Like, I got a little bit more of like, oh, we see what the island looks like, and there's 2 towers to fight. But that was about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably gonna buy it anyway because I am such a Pokemon fan. Even if it's a good, whether or not it's good or bad. But
Yeah, I just got like a new job, so I'm making a little bit of cash. So I think that I'm more inclined to get it. And since I'm already like, had some itch to play more Pokemon since I bought Omega Ruby, I could see myself wanting to go back to play this more. But I'll probably wait for you to at least try it out to be like, yeah, this is worth playing.
yeah, I understand that. But yeah, I think it looks fun. I really like that from what I can see, it looks like they're going to double down on the whole wild area aspect, which I'm excited for. But
yeah,
that everything remains to be seen still. I still feel like I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I have been thinking like, do I want a water fighting or dark fighting?
Yeah, it does get me thinking about that though, and the fact that they do get you thinking about that is like, which one would I want? That's roping you into buying the DLC right now.
Yeah, it is. I feel like we're gonna have to get different ones to be different.
Yeah, I mean, you have Sword, I have Shield.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter which one you have for this.
True. I am excited for the Gigantamax versions of the starters though. That looks really fun.
I'm excited that they just get that ability, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more and more about like wanting to do Pokemon. I don't know what the best way to go about doing Nuzlocks. Should you Nuzlocke a game you've never played? Should you Nuzlocke a game you already know? Like, what is the best way to do it? Because I have all these Pokemon games I could play.
I personally recommend Nuzlocking a game you know.
It seems like it's easier.
It's much easier, and also like a lot of the older Pokemon games just have good story. I've explained that in our episode about it. If you want to go check that out, but
what are you saying that I should Nuzlocke an older game then?
I would say play through an older game, then Nuzlocke it.
Oh, okay. So I'm saying like, do I want to do like a Sword and Shield Nuzlocke at some point? Like maybe that would get me more interested in playing that game again and then going back to it. But
I don't think that's the worst idea.
But right now, I'd only be interested if we both did it and could kind of like that. To me, would be really fun to like simul play together.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you that I was doing a Platinum Nuzlocke, and I'm almost done with it.
Yeah, I just fell off from it, and I don't have that save file with me. It's on my other computer, which I don't have currently. So I could start another one up, but what I did instead is I made a Platinum randomizer.
Yeah, that randomizers are ridiculous. I love them.
I do really want to play through just like one randomizer together. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
the thing is like we could do that and like still go through the story of the game. We just have a fucking stupid team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you don't get to catch the legendary, but you probably accidentally catch the legendary through the process of playing the game anyway.
Perhaps.
But yeah, that's all the stuff in the Direct. What did you think overall? When I first got done watching it, I was underwhelmed, and then I realized that there was a decent amount of stuff in here.
Yeah, considering this is a mini Direct and it was still nearly half an hour long, we got a lot of good information and a lot of cool stuff shown off. I was just glad we got something after the drought.
Yeah, I was excited for something. I'm still like... I mean, this Direct makes me think that, like, okay, Breath of the Wild 2 is the holiday game for this year.
Yeah. I'm waiting with bated breath for anything about Metroid Prime 4.
I think we'll get some info, because you know that they'll have, like, an E3-ish announcement. Like, they're going to announce something. It won't be at E3 because E3's canceled, but they'll still have something.
They'll have, like, an E3-style Direct with all the big reveals of this year.
So, it's just interesting. Like, my disappointment was that just no new Nintendo, like, big Nintendo games were announced. We got their sort of some little indie titles and things by Nintendo and some Nintendo exclusives, but that was it. And then, more information on some games that are coming or games that are already out. So, look, I'm ecstatic that just Definitive Edition's coming out, and I don't even, like, this year is already... for my opinion on Nintendo stuff is like this, you can't get worse because you already redid my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, like you've already hit the expectations and exceeded them.
Yes, because I didn't think this was ever gonna. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought I was before last September. I thought like, yeah, I would really love this to happen, but I know it's not.
And now it's
And then
happening.
it happened, and I died, and I continued to keep dying, and just looking, scouring, the internet. Like I just keep rewatching, the music and the scene comparisons. I just keep doing that.
Yeah. And of course, my favorite announcement in the direct besides Xenoblade was ARMS and Smash. One of the main reasons I'm so excited for ARMS and Smash, and I forgot to mention this earlier, was imagine the ARMS theme, which is already hype as hell, remixed into a Smash stage. The music will be fantastic. I'm excited for that.
I am super excited for the music in ARMS to be added.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a lot of tracks.
Oh, yeah, because it's a Nintendo title. There's no copyright issues.
They're just going to throw them all in, basically.
It's going to be Terry Part 2, baby.
Yep.
50 music tracks with Terry I thought was the funniest thing in the world. It's like, there's like, so what tracks do you want to give us? Yes.
Yes. So you seem pretty satisfied. I mean, I feel like it's had a lot of stuff.
It had good stuff.
Fits your niche.
You
for you particular. I mean, Xenoblade, you're interested in. You got the 2K stuff, which you like. You even are into Marvel more than me.
I don't care about Ultimate Alliance 3, to be honest. I don't care. I played the second game, thought it was fun.
But I feel like this just had you're like RPGs a lot, and you got some lots of new RPG stuff to be interested in. So I think this, and you got Pokemon, so it seems like there's a lot of good stuff for you.
Yeah, the highlight of it was ARMS and Smash for me, because I knew we were gonna get some more information about Xenoblade, so it didn't necessarily surprise me. ARMS, I love things that surprise me, and I was like, ARMS in Smash, oh my god.
Yeah, once they started showing the Xenoblade thing, I wasn't surprised because this game was leaked to be in May, so I kind of knew it was already coming out in May.
Yeah.
It was more just the fact that it was here and I was seeing it.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and now that I've listened to the music, I'm very even more excited than I already was. So, I don't think this direct was necessarily a failure or a disappointment, as a lot of people are saying. I think that there's a lot of cool stuff in it. It's just not for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that we have some really strong showings later in the year for I think Breath of the Wild. If you have Breath of the Wild and Bravely Default coming out this year, I really think that is a lot of just good games. But I feel like, I feel like this year needs a couple more just solid Nintendo titles. I feel like we need a Mario sports game or something like that. Yeah. Like a Mario Party. I feel like we need something kind of in that realm right now, I think.
I mean, they could just blow us all away and show some serious info on Metroid Prime 4. That would blow everything out of the water.
I mean, but I already know that game's not coming out this year. So by the end of this year, I need some info on it. But I feel like what's gonna come out September, October, November, or August, September, October, November. I don't know. I feel like we gotta get some Nintendo stuff coming in through there, even if it's a new Mario Party or something like that. Not a huge deal, but something.
Yeah, and the virus is throwing everything off kilter. So I don't have exactly the world's highest expectations for this year.
No, but also they had games planned for this year. Even if they get delayed, I still want to, if they get delayed, it's we can't work on this because of the virus. So this game was going to come out earlier now, might be pushed back to next year. I'm okay with it. But right now it's just we don't know what's happening or coming, and it feels like there's nothing.
Yeah. I don't have any very strong opinions about it. I guess this goes into the ignorance is bliss situation. The less we know, the less disappointed we feel about delays.
Yeah. It just feels I feel like, last year there were things like the Astral Chain, the Deus Ex Machina that weren't big games, but just felt like we're consistently coming out, and we haven't had that this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I have plenty of games to play right now.
I have plenty of games to play. I'm more just be Nintendo is a business, you gotta do this stuff.
Yeah. Well...
I got plenty of stuff to play, but I'm also a person that'll go back and play my N64.
Yeah. Well, we're about to hit an hour 50, so I think this is a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, I think we're overall pretty happy, but we're still excitingly waiting what's to come. It might not be till June till we get anything.
It's a very bated breath situation, I think, on everyone's front.
Definitely. Well, this has been The Other Guys. I'm Jeffrey, the other guy.
I'm Eli, the other. Other.
Other?
Yes.
Other guy.
Correct.
Switch the order. Bye-bye.